What type of person are you in your desired reality? This is going to be a very fun conversation because this is a subjective topic. However, I want to dive deep more into the complex characters, the anti heroes, and the anti villains. I'm not going to really cover too much about heroes and villains because those are just straight up self explanatory. So, yeah, if you're just a straight up good guy or girl in your desired reality, then awesome. You're courageous, heroic, kind to other people, selfless, and want to do things for the greater good. Usually, the super blessed people are the ones that can actually fulfill this role. However, if you take away that kindness, selflessness, and let's just say you're more motivated to do the right things for your own personal gain, does this qualify yourself to be something else, known as an anti hero? Well, the answer is it depends. Some people get dark heroes mistaken for anti heroes. A good example of that is Batman. Yes, he is moody, slightly arrogant, has flaws, and gives the bad guys a hard time. However, here's the thing that makes him retain his heroism. The thing that makes him retain it is the fact that he cares about consequences. His way may be misguided, but it's for the greater good. There's a term for it, actually, and that's called a Byronic hero. Because you can do a handful of terrible things without technically being considered a villain. Here's what being an anti-hero actually means. It means someone who's out to do the right thing, but only for his or hers personal selfish needs, and not for the greater good. They do whatever it takes to get to their goal, and they don't care if it means at the expense of the villains or innocents. They absolutely do not give a fuck about consequences of their actions. They betray allies, kick the dog, take candy from a kid, and they don't care if they trash talk the church. This person is me. Besides the taking candy from a kid part, and the only time I'd ever kick the dog is if it was one that bites. Where most humans are scared to hurt animals, I pretty much do all this stuff. Wait a second, wouldn't all of this make people like this, aka me the villain? Well, no, because here's the part that differentiates everything, and that's the goal. Because obviously, what the anti hero wants is good, where what the villain wants is bad. Sure, the thing they both have in common is that they are out for their own selfish desires, but it just happens to be that the anti hero wants a good thing. A good example is Deadpool. Deadpool doesn't want to join the Avengers to help people, but more so give his own life a purpose. As quote unquote selfish as that sounds, it's also noble. Very relatable for all of us. That wraps up the anti hero part. Wait a second, but Justin, what about someone who isn't so villainous? The person who doesn't mind helping the kid who dropped his candy, saving the dog, and helping an old lady across the street, but they still want to take down the church? That is what you call an anti villain. People say I seem nicer than I claim myself to be, which, to an extent, they are right, until they actually get to know me and see my true motives. Sure, I don't mind respecting boundaries. For example, respecting that whoever I have a crush on is with someone, but at the same time, I still want to shift to a new reality where I'm with them. Which, yes, that's normal, but I still want to secretly manifest revenge on whoever is dating them here. And for those of you that have been watching me for a while, know all that too well. While an anti-hero does everything necessary to get what they want, an anti-villain has somewhat of a quote-unquote rule they can't break. It may give off an illusion that they're doing the right thing, but in reality it's all for bad reasons. For example, there are people in my day-to-day life who I despise with a passion, but act nice to whenever I see them. I may fist bump them or have a good conversation with them, but I still want to script them out of existence and use a revenge subliminal on them. I basically am the villain who's hard to hate. Everything I've just told you now, though, about these characters coexists all in one, and I'm a mix of an anti hero and an anti villain. But for shorter, terms, I'll just call myself an anti hero slash villain. I'll definitely carry on these type of characters into the next life as well, with the only difference being is it won't be at the expense of my happiness, and I'll actually be taken seriously. People will actually see me, like how I see myself in my head, and carry myself as. I actually get to have unlimited creative control of the direction of my character. Instead of probability, it's guaranteed. My options won't be limited too. But yeah, an anti hero is someone not so heroic, who's still on the side of good, where an anti villain is someone not so evil that's still on the side of bad. Which side do you fall on? I'm gonna flip it on you guys now, to use your own moral judgment, to determine who your desired reality self is.